Hello, my loves. I am Ellie Frost. I am the visionary coach, mentor, strategist, and healer for beautiful human beings here to change the world and change and transform themselves. I want to talk today because I do a lot of trauma release work with people and self-actualization, bringing them into their fullest expression in life, in their business, in their life, in who they are, what they want to experience. I want to talk about how do we know when we've healed. Now, caveat is, healing is an ongoing journey. We're not looking to be fully healed. We're in a human experience that's evolving. But there are some hello, my love, I can't see who you are, but say hi. Comment, let me know who's here. But there are some very monumental moments, right, that we can use that really show a deep level of healing has occurred. This one I'm going to talk to you about today is such a huge breakthrough for people. You know you've really healed when there is no one else other than yourself that you'd rather be. That with all that with all your struggles, with your whatever amount of money you may have or not have, whatever debts you may have or not have, whatever your physical condition or appearance is, you can truly say that there's no one else you'd rather be on the planet. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're currently living through, that you are choosing that, you're knowing that, you're feeling that in the moment right now. Yeah? At that point, you don't look outside of you to compare because you know there's no one else you'd rather be. Yeah? And if you can get to that place with your current struggles, right? Not because you've achieved something, but because you love who you are. Yeah? And you wouldn't change any of your past. And I've had a traumatic past. No matter how traumatic it was, yeah? You still wouldn't change it because so many of us, right, are looking for for someone outside of us to make it better, or we feel like this resentment. I teach my clients, forgiveness work is amazing, by the way, but the reason we need to practice forgiveness, part of it is because we're still attaching resentments. So many of us have an idea that if that hadn't happened to me, or they hadn't treated me that way, or if that person hadn't been like that, I'd be in a better off situation. And in theory, we think that because maybe I've been through a lot of betrayals emotionally, sexually, financially, but even still, I can't say for sure that my life would have been better. Yes, in the moment, there were what seemed like temporary losses, but those things were the catalyst for me to be able to self-actualize and come into a higher calibration of personal power. So sometimes we're not using our blessings. So sometimes there are big events in our life, but they are the exact thing that we need, right, to expand and grow us. And we misinterpret them and we think we're losing when we're actually winning. There's no way I'd be as strong and powerful and discerning and, as I am today if I hadn't have had those experiences. I don't need them anymore. That's done. They can't even come anywhere near me, those kind of experiences. But they were such a catalyst for change, So when we're at a point where it's even if, and especially if your life doesn't look like how you want it to be, if you are at a point where you would still rather be you than anyone else, with all your problems, with all your things that you might have judged about yourself, that is a beautiful moment in time. And when we can come into that level of self-love, guess what? We stop denying our desires and dreams, yeah? You have to love yourself enough to choose yourself. You have to love yourself enough to say, hey, that thing inside of me, those dreams, those desires, I'm going to give myself that because you give yourself that. And again, it's where we put our energy, our time, attention and resources, including money, focused in a way that ignites our soul. Not in a way that pacifies our emotions. This isn't about I emotionally buy a pair of shoes to make myself feel better. There's healing to do there. But when you're investing in things like coaching, if you're investing in your self-development, if you're investing in your well-being, yes, 100%, but we've got to look at where we're pacifying and not actually loving ourselves. We're not supposed to be fixing ourselves on the planet. We're supposed to heal, to evolve, to self-actualize and come into such a level of deep kind of gratitude and respect for the person we are. If you can look in the mirror and say, I love you, there's no one else I'd rather be on the planet. Yeah? Then it doesn't matter what anyone else has got. And it doesn't matter what they did to you. It doesn't matter. You're not attached to it. It's irrelevant to you because you'd still choose you. This is a very powerful point. Very, very powerful point. Very healing point. I was listening to a song this morning, right, which I love, and it's by Whitney Houston. and it's called One Moment in Time. And I would play it, but you're not allowed, I don't think, on this platform. But the chorus is like, give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all within me. And there's so many lyrics in that song that are so on point. But like, if we're not living from our hearts, if we're not choosing ourselves, if we think self-love is somehow making myself feel better emotionally and not loving myself enough to give myself everything I fucking want in this lifetime for and just from the place of being me, yeah, then we're missing the point. Our emotions are brilliant messengers, and they're not supposed to be all feel-good ones. It's an intense experience, the human experience. You know, the difference between being a soul in the ethers and being in the physical body is emotions. The entire human experience is emotions. So we should let our emotions drive us into beautiful things, but trying to pacify them by buying stuff or numbing out, that's not what they're there for. They're there to push us into who we are. They're there to tell us, to listen. They're there to help us listen to our truth. This isn't about reacting on them in ways that aren't healthy. This is about honouring them, being willing to be with them, and then claiming one moment in time where you get to be more than you ever thought you could be. Your dreams are a heartbeat away, I believe that, and the answers are all within me, all within you. One moment in time where I'm more than I thought I could be. All of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and the answers are all within me. Listen to that song if you want some inspiration, but it's so true. We think our soul is inside of us. Our soul is vast. Yeah, it knows all the answers. It knows how to make you fulfill, but you've got to take what you call risks because it's outside your comfort zone. But your soul is your aura. Your soul is, your body's in your soul. Like, you know, your soul is wise. It's your spirit. That part of us is so resilient. It's so strong. It never breaks. It goes and goes and goes and goes. It can take whatever life can throw at it. And so when we can unite our divinity, our soul, with our purpose, our soul desires, and our human, yeah, we are very powerful from that place, yeah? So, like, it's this unity of us and us. We're not just a human, and the human isn't inferior. I say, like, there's nothing more divine than a human being. Why? Because read all the religious scriptures. God makes man in his image. How can we be condescending of the human? But also, we're meant to make mistakes. The human experience was about limiting our consciousness so that we learn, we grow, we have emotions. You wouldn't want to watch a movie that was just like, oh, everyone feels good, the end. You love the journey. When we watch movies that excite us and tantalize us and put us on an emotional ride, that's what we came on the planet to do. But we have a negative emotion. None of them are actually negative. We go, oh, that's wrong. I shouldn't feel that way, so I'm going to pacify my way out of it rather than trust the message. Or you have a strong desire. I want to do that one day. I want to speak on stage. I want to, I don't know, invest in that coach. I want to expand myself and go on a retreat. And then you shut it down because your emotions, your soul, it talks to you through these emotions. Now, hang on a second when I say that, because I am someone who's very good at releasing trauma in people. A trauma response is different to that. Trauma responses are very urgent and they are related to fight, I want to argue with you. Flight, I need to get the fuck out of here. Freeze, I'm completely stuck and frozen, I am procrastinating. And fawn, which is the people pleaser. I'm now not being authentic because I need you to like me because I don't feel safe. Now, that's not our guidance system. That's our trauma responses, right? So we have to separate these two out. And the emotional intelligence is knowing the difference. And the emotional intelligence is being able to sit with my anger, sit with my pain and not spew it on you. I don't need you to make it better for me, and I don't need to react to it. I get to deeply feel it and release it out of my system and learn from it. We're meant to learn from our emotions, not store them, because then we can get disease in the body, not deny them. Let them guide us. So, you know you've healed. Right? And healing's an ongoing journey. There's always going to be stuff to heal from. But we know we've healed when, you know, like, you're at a point where nothing that's happened to you matters. You're at a point where nothing defines you, no circumstance. You're at a point where you don't need your money to go up. You don't need people to recognize you. You don't need it. You've got yourself. You're self-partnered. You're self-actualized. You love yourself. You wouldn't have it any other way. There's no one on the planet you'd rather be than you, with all the things that you perceive are not perfect about yourself. That's the most healing place to be. And at that point, you'll choose you. You'll choose your dreams. You'll choose your desires. You'll choose your joy. Choose your joy. Hope I can inspire you to choose your joy today. If you're needing motivation, that Whitney Houston song I love. I've got 2 special offers. If you buy Elevate You, pay in full, you'll get a free session with me. It's a self-study program that will change your life, your business, your brand, your strategies, and activate your genius, align you with your purpose. I've got a one-on-one for 6 weeks, which is unusual for me because I'm doing a year or 6-month containers for that. And it's a strategic container where we really get clear on your brand, we get clear on your offerings, and we get clear on your sales and marketing. So I also do have trauma release sessions available, and I've got a very unique channeled way of clearing trauma. People in my world have rapid transformations, and there is a support you need around that, you know, because it's like I was saying to my client this morning, we're like circuit boards of electricity, and as we expand our vibration, it can be a lot of energy, a lot of activation coming through. So, you know, it's good to have someone like me to support you through that. Contact me about those things. I'm sending you a lot of love. Now, do not punish yourself or think you're wrong or not healed or somehow damaged. None of us are damaged in any way. We're on a journey. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't really want to sometimes be who you are. It's a natural part of the human process to have those thoughts a lot of the time. But when you can start moving towards that, be willing to understand that, be willing to choose yourself. Just start slow. Start with, I'm willing to choose myself. I'm willing to want to be me. I'm willing to not want to be anyone else. It sounds like a strange question, but it's so true. For many of us, we're rejecting ourselves at such a deep level, which is why we're not bringing into our lives, manifesting the things we want. I choose me, I love me. You can say that in your eyes in the mirror. I wouldn't have it any other way. Everything I've been through, I still choose myself. Everything I am right now, I still choose myself. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. There's no one else I'd rather be. No matter what I have or haven't got, I still choose me. That's the point of power. That's the point of self-acceptance. That's the point of it doesn't matter what anyone did or said. You're not looking for them to make it up to you. You don't need anyone to make anything better for you. You've got you. Yeah? Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.